Hello, we're back again, and it is the Christmas cracker. I don't know how long I'm going to handle this tinsel around my neck, because I've got to be honest with you, this is itchy AF. But we'll do it for now, as we did last time. No Christmas jumper. It's a bit warm at Barry Towers, so no Christmas jumper today, but Santa let me wear his hat. Wasn't that nice for him? Connor, there's rumours that Connor was going to be wearing a Santa hat, but he could not get it over that magnificent quiff. So therefore, no hats there. And the elf on the shelf has nicked Charlie's hat, which is really disappointing and sad. Those that can remember last year, it's Christmas Cracker 2, by the way. It is the second annual version of this. It was so good last time that they let me do it again. So we are going to see all of the joys that we have had over the last 52 weeks of the year. Well, 51 really, because there's one left to go. Charlie, feeling festive? How are we feeling at the moment?
Yeah, feeling good. Love a bit of Christmas action. So, the big day can't come soon enough. We're already in the Connor household, so very stress-free. Just love it. Love the amount of football there is around Christmas as well.
Excellent. This is what we like to hear. And to my left over this shoulder, so it would be my left, but it's actually on my right as I look at it, which is why I never point the right direction, is the Grinch. You're not really a big fan of Christmas, are you, Connor?
No, it's when Charlie said there, "Oh, it's all getting fit in the Connor household," I thought, "It's not about me there." And obviously, I realised, I twigged on what he was on about. I just don't particularly like this time of year, especially as a women's football fan, because women's football stops, doesn't it, over this period? I know that obviously men's football carries on, but for us that are more into women's football these days, it's just there's nothing on until we return for competitive action on the 14th. So hence why no Christmas hat, none of this for me, because if I had my way, we wouldn't have decorations up, but got to be done. The rest of the family have.
Honestly, it doesn't look like you've got decorations up either, so none of us look like we've got decorations up at the minute. Does that really count? Man United shirt? Not sure I'm going with that.
I don't know.
It's also hung in a very slapdash fashion.
I was going to say, it's because the red shirt is supposed to be hung underneath it, but it's like it pulls it down, and it's just that green one won't stay like straight.
So, it keeps doing that. It's like it's had a stroke. It's just going from one side constantly. It's not very good. But there we go. Well, that didn't say long. I've only had a sip of pina colada, so God knows how tonight's going to go. But cheers, everybody. Right, here we go. Who's in the chat already? We've got Sporty Evening. Season's greeting to you. So lovely to see you. Hello there. Hi, Lane. TJ's here. Andrew's here. Ellie's here. Ali, never seen you before. Hello, mate. Nice to have you here. We've also got Dave. Dave is in the house. Here we go. Charlie has kids. The Christmas spirit lives through in her house.
Yes, it does.
Adulthood kills the vibe, which I think is his way of saying that's why Connor is a Grinch. Vic, who will be on a bit later, she's just as bad as Connor, simply put. And Christmas come early in the Claydon household. Not quite sure how or why that's happened. Oh, no, actually, I think I do, but we're not going to go there. And Dave, it's like looking at Ant and Dec the wrong way round. He's going to have to be Ant because he's got a bigger forehead than I, even though my forehead technically goes all the way back to my hairline. But there we go. So, listen, we're here to talk about all of the big things, all of the good things that have happened this season. And we kicked off really with us three because we wanted Jess to be here. She's not here at the moment. We're not sure what's going on with Jess. Maybe she's had another delivery of something or something.
Wardrobe man.
Yeah. But there we go. So it's us, the Monday night crew, as we would like to call ourselves. And we've been Monday nighting now pretty much all season. And it means we've had the opportunity to review almost every game that's been on. Charlie, I'm going to come straight to you for this one. What sort of highlights have stuck out for you so far this season? What is it that you've enjoyed most about Manchester United this season?
So literally just since August, you mean? Is that what we're talking here?
You can have all of 2023, Charlie. I'm not
right, okay.
Charlie in the corner. You can
my highlight of the whole calendar year, for me personally, is probably Big Bad Rachel's goal in the semi-final to send us through to the FA Cup final. I loved that moment. Up there with Millie's, but I think a lot of people mention Millie T against Villa, so I'll leave that for somebody else. But yeah, Big Rach's phenomenal sort of solo goal through on the keeper. That was amazing. The FA Cup final was a bit of a highlight, even though it maybe didn't end how we would quite have liked. It was incredible to be there and watch the team perform as they did. And if we're talking specifically about this season, do you know what my favourite moment was Melvie Mallard's goal in the home leg against PSG at Lille, because it felt like we were competing, and it was a well-deserved goal, and it sort of gave us a fighting chance going across to Paris. So that was a bit of a highlight as well.
Well, they seem like pretty good ones to me. Connor, obviously you've, I think, made most of the games. Certainly all the ones in this half of this season. Made a fair few of the latter half of last season. So what would be the standouts for you this season? What have you enjoyed seeing and what pleases you most about being a Man United fan?
Everyone's going to say, I think, Turner against Villa, and I think because earlier on in the year, because I think we spoke about this a lot, that was the game that truly made me believe that we were going to go on and win the league at that point, because it was right before Wembley as well. It was everything around that. It was a last minute. It literally was right at the last second. We had a full away end. Martin Ho and all the players, literally, as soon as the full-time whistle went, they ran straight to us in the corner and celebrated in front of us. That whole game was incredible. So as a moment, in terms of what's made me the happiest as a United fan, I think that Wembley's a good shout as well. Watching the team walk out of Wembley, despite the fact, obviously the result aside, I will mention it. Obviously, I'm not going to name loads. I've got three. So I'll kind of narrow it down a little bit. That Galton goal in the final that got ruled out, because for about 10 seconds, that's probably the best I've ever felt watching this team, because it was like, oh, we've kicked off. Yeah, we're in the game. Oh my God, we've scored. It was like,
It's so quick, wasn't it?
It was, so what was it, 35 seconds or something like that on the clock? It was, that was unbelievable. But I think going off, because this season's been very hit and miss. Obviously, we've had the late winner at Villa and so on. I actually think watching, and this is not going to be, I don't think anyone else is going to say this, watching Jace in the Conti Cup last Thursday against Leicester, because the way I messaged people afterwards saying she's literally taking the mick out of players in this league. The way she glides, I know that there's criticisms of her end product and all that kind of thing. The way she dribbles past players, I've not seen a United women's player do that before she's come in. And watching her this season, she's one of the players I'm just like, just give her the ball. Let her do what she needs to do, because she is so good when she gets on the ball. As I know there's all the thing of her end product and different things like that. But in that game in particular, I think she nutmegged about 4 different players in that game alone. And I can't remember she set some ridiculous record of like Jules 1 and all that kind of thing. It was stupidly high. So yeah, just watching her in that game. And I think this season, like I said, because it's been so hit and miss, watching players like Jace has been just a joy for me to watch.
There you go. That is very comprehensive. I did not expect Jays in the Conti Cup to be named as one of the highlights. So there you go. Good job, Connor. Well done. You picked something that lots of people may not particularly choose. So what's the purpose of today? Today is all about having a laugh, having a bit of fun, getting ourselves into the Christmas spirit, but without it having to be with your family members where you're forced to do it. Very much optional here. You're only forced if you're physically on the screen. And we will be getting to that very, very shortly. But we have got literally a plethora, just like we did last year. The idea is to get as many people through the doors as we possibly can. We've got another 3 people coming up once we lose Connor and Charlie. I'm afraid you're stuck with me for the entirety of it. So if you're not happy with that, if that's not cool, I'd be getting gone soon if I were you, because it's an North United takeover from me today. We should have another 3 people after that, then another couple of people, and then a few more people. So we're going as close to 9 o'clock as we possibly can, potentially. And within that, loads of games, loads of things to turn up and enjoy. So please do make sure you're part of the conversation. Dave, watching Jade this season has surprised him. Really up for the job, especially after Honor left. The 6-0 thrashing against Liverpool was brilliant. Certainly was. And Mallard versus PSG, that goal was uno. I mean, it's a great game. You shout Uno and then last card, and then we get battered. I don't know, not sure. But there we go. So lots to say. I've got a question. Does anyone know what menagerie means? If you do, if you could just pop that into the comments for me, it'd be really helpful for a little challenge that I've just been set. Whilst we're there, I've got so many things I could talk about. We wanted to talk about highlights, things that really pleased everybody. My personal highlight it's this. It has to be.
For the love of God, I didn't think this picture would
was my highlight. Hi, Charlie. Well done. The minute I received this photo, for me, 100%. What a highlight! What a year! It was absolutely unreal. Proof positive that Connor can't be as mad as he makes out. But we do know, Charlie, you and I, that Connor is an absolute madman. He doesn't watch. He doesn't really do anything like that. So my question for you, dear lady, is this: when you are at home and you are watching the Christmas TV, what's your go-to, like your top 3 Christmas movies?
All right, good question. So I really like Home Alone 2. Massive fan of Home Alone 2. I also really enjoy around Christmas time The Great Escape, which Connor won't have seen, which is dreadful, disgusting of him. But do you know what?
He thinks that's just getting out of LSV on time.
Do you know what I do have a soft spot for? But it really upsets me when the horse drowns in the swamp. Is the Never-Ending Story.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I can live with that. I think they're quite good. We'll just quickly pop onto the menagerie question. Apparently, it's a peng bar in Manchester, but it can also be a collection of animals. So, yeah, not sure how we're going to work that in, but we'll give it a go. Thank you very much. And evening, Erden, lovely to have you. Now, TJ, I'm with you. I love this film, Die Hard. It's on tonight, apparently. I'm going to be getting onto Channel 4 at some point this evening, probably to watch that. But for me, Home Alone 2, obviously, best Christmas movie of all time. Elf, naturally, and probably the Nativity. Not the one with Jesus in, the one with Mr. Poppy. But everybody's heard of the Nativity.
Isn't Home Alone 2 literally known as being the worst out of all of them?
No,
literally no. If you've seen the ones that haven't got Macaulay Culkin in, you would never say that. They are dreadful. You may want to gouge my own eyes out. And unfortunately, Evelyn's favourite one is the 5th one. And I know what you're thinking. 5? Yeah, there is a 5th one. And there's a reason no one knows about it.
Correct. Great DVD. Connor, do you have Christmas movies that you watch, or do you have any movies that you watch around about Christmas?
Diversity, the movie.
Elf's all right. I think it's. I don't really. Listen, I'm not a Christmassy, but Polar Express is a good film. Even though I found out recently that Tom Hanks pretty much plays all the characters in that film. I didn't know that until recently. So it's basically the Tom Hanks movie. So that's all right. Other than that, I've not seen that many. I've seen a couple of the Home Alone films, but I couldn't tell you what happens in them. In terms of. I just think they're all very samey.
Generally, they get left alone.
Which one, Sarah? The Jim Carrey one, or the more recent animation? That's what I want to know the answer to, so everyone can get back to us.
See, people are agreeing. I can't believe I'm actually being agreed with on films here. This is
we'll get there. We'll get there. Home Alone is good. I agree. It's just not to the level of Home Alone 2. The point where the bricks are coming off and smashing Marv in the face. I mean, is there a better moment in it? Harry. That's every time. I love it. Yes, people loving Connor's ideas here. Sporty saying Scrooge, very good film. Bill Murray, Elf, and the Muppet Christmas Carol, of course, very good as well. Early loving 1 and 2. I think saw number 3. Definitely, once you saw 3, you realise it wasn't worth coming back anymore. Polar Express, my Christmas Eve tradition. So clearly that's happening tomorrow. High Lane was about to say Polar Express. So there we go.
Christmas. Does anyone like Arthur Christmas? That's the more recent one.
And Sarah's gone for the Jim Carrey one, which makes sense. It's definitely the best Grinch one.
I knew I liked Sarah.
Yeah,
a bit of a tip.
And Mia saying, I can't believe they left him home alone 4 more times. And
Yes. Can I know this is not all about Home Alone, but can I just draw everyone's attention to the fact that I love Home Alone, right? But when you watch it back when you're older, all you think is this family is horrid.
yes,
Like, he is systematically bullied by his siblings, his aunts and uncles, his mother and father. He's banished to the attic. They're absolutely horrible to him. And then he's on his own, and the police don't seem to care either. But Uncle Buck does, because Uncle Buck drives his mum home in a camper van to get her back.
see,
But,
and it's
my
nice
word.
because you went down the nice way of that. But I saw a horrible video that's mentioning that actually she says that she'll sell her soul to the devil. And at that point, that's when he turns around and says, "Oh, I've got a way for you to get home." So people taking that to a very dark place indeed. Like John Candy, Satan. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch if anyone knows who he is. But there we go. Listen, we need to come up with some other bits and pieces before we get to our switch over, which is rapidly approaching. But we do have, I mean, I've got some little segues, but I've got one that doesn't need to be a segue because this 100% knows what's coming. It's time for a little sing along, everybody. Here we go.
Corner Griffiths, 2 foot tall, 2 foot tall, 2 foot tall. Corner Griffiths, 2 foot tall. He loves Brill Cream.
I can't believe it.
What a moment, eh? What a moment. Everybody should be joining with that. We're going to be playing that periodically through the show because it's one of the few not copyrighted musical things that we can play. Next important question. On your Christmas dinner, what's the best part?
Can I literally only choose one item, or can I?
One thing. The greatest part. The part that wouldn't make, if it wasn't there, Christmas dinner would be ruined.
So
my mum's cheese sauce.
Oh, cheese sauce. Okay.
you're going to hate my answer.
I was going, what's cheese sauce?
No,
I've
but
never heard of it.
I was like, the fork.
No, to be fair, but I don't have turkey or anything like that. So the lamb for me, because I have lamb rather than turkey or anything else. So
I think a few people do that. I have some friends that don't like turkey, so they just have like a big pork joint. But we go turkey. Pete makes a Coca-Cola ham, which is incredible. And then what else do we have? We have a duck as well. So we have a trio of meats.
Yeah, I think we've had that in the past.
A trio, as in like the chocolate bar, that would not go down well with you. Pigs in blankets for me. It's got to be, pig inside pig. Don't know who thought that up, but what a great idea. So you've gone lamb, Connor. Yeah, I didn't expect that to be your answer. I've got to be honest.
He's writing all this down for future reference. Look at him every time you say anything.
Don't need to write it down. When it comes to Connor, it all just stays up here. It's brilliant. Okay. Before we move on and before we get to the games, single word-ish answers. You're at your Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Underneath your Christmas tree is one player, one goal, and one match. You can only have one player. That player is like immune from ever being sold. You can only have one goal that you can rewatch over time, and one match that you are allowed to replay. All the rest of them get consigned to the history books. It doesn't have to be this year necessarily. Well, like for the match, because let's be honest, that's just a bit dull. And I know which match I would pick, and it wasn't this year. So,
Okay.
But one player. Who's your player? Who would you take?
What? Who? So you've said who can't be sold, but what if I'm going to go current squad, by the way, because I'd always answer honor to that otherwise. So I'm going to go current playing squad. Can they be on loan at the moment?
Yes, they can.
Okay, so Melvine, the duck.
Lovely. So she's gone for the duck. Connor?
I'm torn between 3, but I will.
Maya.
Yeah, it was between Maya, Jade, and Jace, but I will go for Maya.
Maya Letitia, very good. One goal.
What would yours be, Barry?
Me?
Yeah.
My player, the one that I would keep. You need to ask this question. Who do you think it would be?
Rachel Williams?
No.
Ella Toon?
No.
Oh.
Mary Earps?
No.
Baby.
I'm a little bit worried that there's
Billy
people
Turner.
here.
Katie's Ellen. Katie.
There you go. It took me a while to get there.
Yeah, sorry.
My apologies to everyone in the comments section. It's only just occurred to me that I was still on that bit for brand, and I'm wondering why nobody's commented for a bit. That'll be why, Barry, because you've not got them on. Gremlins was in there, some good stuff. Goals. Which goals we picking?
Do you know the goal? Right. So the goal that made me nearly wet my pants, because we played dreadfully for the whole game. And I think if we hadn't won this game, we wouldn't have gone on to the run that we went on. And it was Rachel Williams' goal against Reading at the Car Select Leasing Stadium, when there was like no time. We'd hit the woodwork 3 or 4 times, but apart from that, we were pretty poor and it felt like it wasn't coming. And she ran around 6 or 7 players and just leaving them for dead. It was when that goal went in. That one for me.
Very good. Connor?
Goal and game. I want to try and keep it to this year. So I think goal, Bo Reese's free kick versus Durham's a really good shout, actually, because technically I think that was the best goal. Was that this year, though? Or was that the back end of last year?
No, it was this year. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that. Because I want to keep goal and game separate, I'm going to go for Lads' goal against City.
Yes.
Back end of last season, right on the edge of the box, purely because it just kind of came out of nowhere. We'd started that game so fast, and then Lad just goes and does that. So, yeah, I'll go for that one for goal.
Very nice. I think Blundell's one against West Ham. I think it was West Ham.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Nobody knew she'd scored because we wasn't sure who it was who'd had that final touch, and it just turned out that it was a smashing shot. So I'm going to go with that one, Hannah Blundell. And your match of the season, as we've stuck to this year, we might as well go with it. Mine would have been the Arsenal one from last year, which was obviously amazing. But go on, what do you reckon?
Well, Villa away for me. The one earlier in the year, the Turner goal, and everything that came after that as well, because we were in the ground for so long, and just that whole day. Yeah,
I'll go different then. I'll go for the Manchester derby at Lee, last home game of the season. Absolutely packed. Lovely goal by Garcia. Ripping off of the shirt, going absolutely banana. Not me. Don't want people to be sick. Her. I liked that. I think that moment epitomised, because that was the week after the Villa game. Was it? Am I right, Connor? It was the Villa game.
Was it Villa? It was Villa, then Wembley, and then
Villa,
City won it.
Then Wembley, right, and then
City and Liverpool won it.
That's weird, isn't it? That the FA Cup final wasn't the last domestic game. That was bizarre. But yeah, that one for me, because it took it to the final game of the season. And I'll always say, even though they didn't have to use it, just the fact that they had to have all of the stage in there at Brentwood Park for us in case we'd won it. But yeah,
it was quite sad, wasn't it, watching them carrying it away after the full time? Like we were just watching them carry all this stuff away.
Sports has gone for Ola as the player, VBR against Durham as the goal, and the City at LSV match. I
do agree with Connor that Vilda's goal was technically, I think, the best one we scored all season. The team scored, but I think I'm just basing it on the impact of the goal. So the one I've picked is, I feel like if Rachel hadn't scored at that moment and we'd drawn that game, it could have had a negative impact on the rest of the season. I think it was really important.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Well, there we go. That is the vast majority of this done, apart from the fact that we now need to get to the fun times. It's where we get to have a little bit of quizzical fun. And Charlie, you'll remember this. Last year, Connor literally walked in on this halfway through and wondered what was going on. And that was when the anagram was Yeasty Scone, which was Casey Stoney. And it was you and Shane sat there, and he was like, "What's happened?" And his hair's only sort of just about changed. It's much more upright, his hair now. It was a bit floppier this time last year. But effectively, what we've done is we've done the same thing. So I've got some more. They're all this year's players. I haven't gone into the past for these ones. So they are all this year's players. So do feel free to bang them in. on the chat, and we will see who is the winner of anagram, or as I like to call it now, fanograms, because we're fans doing anagrams. Careful, Charlie. It's not that late yet. Okay, here we go. Here's your first one. Emma's vegan.
What on earth?
It's a fact. Emma is vegan.
I'm trying to think of players with V in their name. Gemma Evans.
You've got it.
Team
Connor's
game, team
I was,
game.
I was trying to think, like, who's got a V in their name in the squad?
very good. Well, Sporty did get there in the
Sporty
end.
as well.
But that is definitely a Connor win. Okay, well done. Sarah got there as well. Good job. Are you ready for the next one? This one is an eerie gun error.
Oh, I know that. That's Guerrero, isn't it?
Oh, very good.
Irene.
Charlie, you were good at this last year.
I know.
NT's loving that. You have no idea how much rubbish I have to read through in order to find the decent ones of these. And then there's one or two that you can't use, but you would really like to. So that was a shame. But there we go. Good stuff. TJ saying that Sporty.
I was going to say there is going to be like a 10-second delay, isn't there, when what we see?
Well, that is it. It didn't come up on the screen.
Yeah, that's
me.
why I'm not saying them on time. Sorry, it's the 10-second delay.
Oh, that's why 10-second delay. Gotcha. Good thinking.
I'll keep an eye on the chat. I'll have it up on my phone.
Okay, this one's a good one as well. Aldi's annuals.
What?
That's right. You can only buy your annuals from Aldi, usually in that stupid middle aisle that makes absolutely no sense.
Lisa Nalsund.
Oh,
Very good, Charlie. Well done.
I think Truth just beat you to that one. But
I
Oh,
think
that's fine.
Truth might have got there, so I'm going to put the viewers one there.
Mia.
Truth on one as well. But yes,
does Mia know how anagrams work?
I don't think she does. No, that has blown my mind ever so slightly.
Does she know you don't just say any name?
Lots of people don't know that, Charlie.
Maybe
Let's be
a
fair.
laptop's still smashed up from last week. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe, or maybe she's been on the sauce ever since lunchtime. We'll see.
Maybe.
Penultimate one. Here we go. Women teams. That's right. Teams that are made up of women.
You keep putting me off by saying things like
In the
that.
silence. There's nothing fun about watching two people go.
You're putting me off.
Who's got a T in their name? It's not two.
Apparently,
Who's
means
got
it's
a W in their name?
worth a crack. Yeah.
Yeah, who has got a W?
Who's even got a W? Someone's just said E for Mannion.
It's
No,
Who's
it's Annie. It's a completely different player.
no, it's well, obviously it's Williams got a double. It's not Williams.
Oh, we know there's no L.
It's not
Why?
Emma Watson, is it?
It is
No.
Emma Watson.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
Very
Connor.
good,
Oh,
Connor.
look at me getting it right.
Charlie got competitive last year. She's
No, I'm
got
not.
to be competitive.
Should be in the comments in a minute.
As well. Well done. Right, the last anagram.
Oh god.
Then.
Hannah
Handball.
Blundell.
Oh, go on, girl.
Only because it's almost her name, the handball hunt.
All right.
Hannah Blundell.
No messing
Yes!
about
Woo,
there.
woo, woo, woo.
My God.
We should end our section now, and I'll walk out of the room.
Brilliant. Well, there you go.
Like an absolute boss.
The final three before we do our little switcheroo. I found
One.
I was absolutely handball hand.
Go on, boy. Grow up.
I was absolutely inspired by the emoji game that Sporty came up with the other day. So I've taken that to a different level. It basically almost kind of sounds out their name ish.
Are we doing it, or is it this for the next group?
You
of
are.
people?
I've definitely taken some creative liberty and license with this. And I can only apologise for anyone
I'm
who's
rubbish at
offended
this.
when watching it, whether that be players, family. It's all good fun. And it's not my fault you named them. So that's where I'm going with that one. So
what is it? Players again, or anything to do with
yes,
United?
players.
Right.
Still from this season. All right.
Okay.
So go. Who's this one?
Bog eye, car eye. Bog, toy. Toy eye.
Gosh, I'm laughing.
Look at that splitting off. Toilet eyes, car eyes. That well-known player.
Louis.
Think about where you've gone. Think about where you've gone.
Lou.
Yes, Mia.
Oh, it's Lucia Garcia. Yes.
Oh,
Lucia
that's
Garcia.
good.
Think about it.
Lou,
It's a
and then-
toilet, which we'd call a loo. So Lou, then I, C, Lucia, and then Garcia.
Yeah, that's really good,
I'm a
Barry.
guy, you see?
I couldn't stop laughing at what show it is.
It's good, right?
What, bog eye? I'm a maths teacher. I'm literal.
So well done. Mia got that one. Good luck with this one.
Oh god, there's another one.
Jace.
What?
Jays.
Jace.
All right.
Literally, not just Jays.
Boom, boom, boom. Yes.
Very nice. And the last one before our little switcheroo. This is one of my favourites, but you really do have to think this one through. Remember, creative license.
Okay.
Oh my life. So it's a leaf. That's what a spanner hammer. What? So it's leaves, isn't it? So it's. Oh, I'm assuming that's what that is.
Love this one. And when you get it, it's either going to make you go, "That's bloody amazing," or you're going to be pleased that you're leaving.
James has just said Banyan.
It's not Mannion. I feel like TJ's got the best chance of getting this because that first picture has got nothing to do with leaves, really.
To do with autumn.
Autumn, but what would they call that in America?
Fall.
Fall.
Fallon. Tullis. Joyce.
Fallon, Tulis, Joys, yes. Fallon, Tools, Joys. Yay,
Oh, for
happy.
Christ.
That took me 10 minutes to go out with that one, so don't you dare be rude. Guys, it's been brilliant to have you on again. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish you all both a very Merry Christmas. We've seen Connor again a bit later. We put him back in. Sorry. Thank you. Took some time, that one, like I say. But thank you very much. We are going to whiz through some people now. I'll get a few more people on to give us their thoughts and opinions. This is the bit where I've got to really try and help myself by sticking in a segue for you to watch and then kicking these two out and bringing 2-3 new people in. So with that in mind, well done. Merry Christmas, you lot. And what one should we go for? I think we should probably go for the Connor's favourite. Let's go for that one. And hello again. And look, as if by magic, the man with the Cliff and Connor are gone. And we've got some brand new people in. We've got Dan, we've got Vic, we've got Andrew. Well done. Good timing, you lot. How are we all? You good down there, Vic?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Excellent. Andrew, you okay down there?
Yeah, all good despite the men's result earlier.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
and Dan,
awful.
first time on the women's channel. How you doing, sir? You okay?
Yeah, good. Happy to be here. I'm just ashamed I've got a bit less hair than the guy that was previously up in this top corner.
Well, listen, I would help you, but I've got my hat on, so you're just going to have to take it for the team for now. It's just a lot warmer than I thought it was. So there we go. But good to have you all here. Hello. What's this? How much do you want for the signed shirt, Vic? £1 is what she seems to be saying there. So that's quite good.
Which one?
Which one? Oh, she's taking a mic now. Which one would you like? Well, there we go. Listen, you pretty much saw the format earlier. I'm going to ask you three a similar sort of thing, but really what I'm looking for now is your big moments, the thing you've most enjoyed about being a Man United fan this year. And Vic, we'll start with you, and then round to Andrew and round to Dan. But your biggest memory, the thing you've enjoyed the most. Off you go.
Okay, so probably my first one was Villa away. Last minute goal by Millie, and she literally just come on the pitch. I've got two more though. Is that okay? Right. Okay. So my other one I wrote down as well. So my other one was Liverpool away last season, the end of last season, the last game. The atmosphere there was absolutely insane. Like, there was no Liverpool fans to be seen, and it was just amazing. And United versus Liverpool was just amazing anyway. And we won. And it was the last game of the season. We took it right down to the last game to find out if we was going to win the title or not. So it was really nice. And then the last one was a semi-final with Rach getting the winner to take us to Wembley.
All sounds very good to me, Andrew.
So I've got a couple as well. Obviously, Villa away, the 3-2 and Millie Turner scoring that header. Also, the Manchester derby where Garcia hitting that win, and we knew we had Champions League secured. But also the FA Cup final, even though it didn't turn out the way we had hoped, but it was just like that pure joy we all had when they got and put us ahead. But then at the end, we was had all the disappointments, as you seen like that documentary. You just saw every emotion on our face. But yeah, so I was proud of that that day that we had at the FA Cup final despite losing. So yeah, those are probably my three top memories over the course of the last year.
Very nice, very nice. And Dan, I know you've been following the team as well. What would be your highlight of 2023?
Yeah, for me, with being relatively a newcomer to watching the women's football, as I've spoke about previously, just everything about it. I love the feel of the family feel of the whole thing, and like watching the men's game and seeing how toxic that can be at times, and just seeing the total different vibe of the women's football, and specifically game wise, it was the first time me and my whole family all sat down and watched the FA Cup final. I know we ended up losing and things like that, but for me, it was just all about the family feel and having a totally different feel. And it's really, for me, just something that I've really got on board with, and I enjoy every game, even the ones we lose. If we play poorly, I take the positives when I can.
Sounds good to me. And Dave, are we having a play of the year vote? Maybe the one at the end. It's not what we do here for the Christmas Cracker 2, which I'm hoping is going to be like Home Alone 2, the better of the two. But we shall see. We don't want Christmas Cracker 3 to be like Home Alone 3, and we've had that conversation, which segues me nicely into your Christmas movies. Vic, what's your go-to Christmas movie? Which one are you sticking on?
I'm a Scrooge. I don't watch Christmas movies, and I don't really watch films anyway because I can't sit still. Like, I struggle just for football sitting still. Like, my nails would not be on. Like, I just can't sit still. So I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't watch.
Wow.
I
You
know.
found some spirit animal.
I know. It's bad, isn't it?
She's well excited.
Yeah, I'm a proper, my whole family just don't do Christmas. Like, well, we do presents and that's it.
Just a good bit, yeah. I recommend The Grinch. I think that would be a good film for you.
I'll take
So
it.
have a little watch. Go for it. Andrew, what about you?
Would be Home Alone for me, the first one. So
First one?
Yeah. So
Intrigued. Horace found his twin. Do you remember the days when we thought you were Marty? What a wonderful moment that was. Muppets Christmas Carol for NT. Absolutely, followed by Home Alone. Dan?
I've got a few. I love Christmas. I'm the total opposite to Vic, unfortunately. But I always watch the same ones every year. But Home Alone 2 is far superior to the first one, purely just because the boy's more brutal with his with what he's doing to them, throwing bricks off the roof and things like that. But as my favourite, I always say is Elf. I know it's just it's a go-to answer for most people, but anything with Will Ferrell is a winner.
He is very good. And I also find that really hard to watch and see the one who plays Miles. I forget his name, the little person, but when he calls the angry elf, and the fact that he was in Game of Thrones and how different he is in both of those
Yeah,
things.
definitely. You don't even think it's the same person.
Wouldn't. Exactly, you wouldn't, but it is. So there we go. Christmas dinner chat as well. We're going to have that. Vic, I know you said you don't necessarily like watching things, but I would imagine food you eat. So there must be a thing that makes Christmas dinner for you. What would that be?
And this might sound a bit cringy, but like probably just like my brother doesn't live with us anymore, so probably like my brother coming around and like all four of us sitting at the table together eating dinner. That's probably my favourite thing. And I like pigs in blankets, actually.
Interesting. Okay, that's you, Andrew. What would it be for you? The thing that makes Christmas Christmas?
Well, yeah, food wise, it'd be roast potatoes for me. I just can't. Could have at least a few on the plate for me. That makes what Christmas dinner for me.
Okay, very good. And Dan, what is it for you?
You're either gonna love it or hate it. Brussels sprouts for me. Absolutely love them. I have them all year round anyways, but I'm the 6 of us get together on Christmas and nobody else eats them, so I just have a bowl to myself.
Very nice. Well, there we go. I'm very impressed. Your Christmas foods and your Christmas films are very good. But we also need to get to you and ask the question that we asked the other three as well. Under the Christmas tree, you got one player, one goal, one match from 2023. Who's it going to be? So we'll kick off with your players first. I don't know if we need to know Vix. I think we could probably guess, but who knows? Maybe she's going to completely surprise me. Who would it be, Vic?
Millie Turner.
Millie Turner.
Yeah, like I know you wanted me to say Tooney then, but we would clash so much. Like we're both too loud, I think, and Millie, I think she's loud, but she's calm. Maybe, I don't know. Millie Turner.
Very good. Okay, that's a nice one. Who's your player, Andy?
I'm going to go the same as you, Barry. Katie Zellum. I just think she's the heartbeat of Manchester United in that team, so that's who I'd go for.
Very nice. And Dan?
Probably Ella Toon, due to the fact that I know if she was under my tree, we'd have a good party, we'd have a good day that day.
Very true. Your goal. What would be your goal of 2023? Yes, same order.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to pick Tooney for one of these answers, so trying to just think of a goal. Oh no, that was last year. We'll do Brighton away goal. Tooney.
Okay. Why not indeed? Andy?
I'm going to go Millie Turner against West Ham because I just thought she was on the attack. I thought, what are you doing this so far forward? And I thought, when she scored the goal, I thought, good on her. I thought, you need to score more like that as well. So, Millie Turner for me.
Very good. And Dan?
Millie Turner, the last-minute winner at the back end of last season. It was one of like the real first games that I watched the full 90 minutes and enjoyed. I can't quite remember who it was against, but it was like last-minute winner. It was such a good feeling. And technically wise, I was going to pick the same one as Vic. Ella Toons against Brighton this season was some finish.
Very nice. Let's see what some of the others have said. Home Alone 2 is the best one. Wolf Apple is great. And yes, it was Peter Dinklage. I thought it was Peter something, but I didn't know his name off the top of my head. Pigs in Blankets absolutely is the only correct answer there. Whereas TJ says, never thought of Brussels sprouts as being a Christmas thing. Well, there we go. And Dave, I can't put yours up because it's a family show. But I don't think you meant to say it. So I'll read it out. I think what he's meant was Bagsy not sitting behind Hoops, sitting behind Dan after his bowl of sprouts. But yeah, didn't quite get the right word in there. And the last one, your match of the season. Vic.
This is really hard. Match of the season. Liverpool away. Last game of the season. At the end of last year. Yeah. Atmosphere was just euphoria.
Fair enough. Andrew?
There's been so many good matches this season. I'm just so many you can pick out from, but I'm going to go back to the start of the year when we beat Liverpool 6-0. So it's always nice getting a win over the Scousers. So I'm going to go for that one.
Very nice. Dan, what would be yours?
I'll probably pick one from this season. I know that we're not doing as well this year as we did last year, but I think Everton away this season was probably the best performance we've had this season, and I enjoyed that one. And I wish we could play Everton every week.
I wish we could too. Okay. Have I covered everything? We've done the movie, we've done the food, we've done the Xmas tree, we've done all of that. So you're just left to take part in today's rather wonderful Christmas quiz. So I have them all set up and ready to go. 7-0. Yeah, into the
You know what else was a really good game as well?
Go for
Villa, first game of the season at Villa Park. Kind of forgot about that one, but the security guards ruined it for me, to be fair. But like, it was a really good game.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. As ever, I will still maintain that this was the moment of the season. Forever it shall remain. It's my favourite thing.
Sorry, Connor.
Don't be sorry, Andrew. Don't be sorry. Never be sorry. Connor up. We'll kick off with the anagram game. We've got 5 of them, and here they come. Remember, they are current players. So, who is part of the spare army?
I'm awful at this.
Mary Earps.
Danny B's there. Straight in with it. Mary Earps, the Queen of Stops.
I've still not got that. How have you got that?
Usually rearrange the letters. So, like, you look at the last bit, army, Mary, and then Earps in the spare. But I can see you're going to do well at this one, Vic. So we look forward to the next 4. You've all heard of aloe vera. What about aloe Elton?
Ella Toon.
Oh, hands on fire. I was unlucky.
I said it before you put it on the thing.
You did before we put it on the thing.
Oh, well, Elton John as well.
I'm not entirely sure that counts. But there we go, some good ones. TJ saying Connor won. I can't see the comments whilst I'm putting these up, so I'll put him down on over here though, because he will get upset if he wins or doesn't win, as the case may be. We'll have this one then. Who could have another name of Lady Hadley?
Hayley Ladd.
Oh, go on, Vic. I'm not very good at this, she says.
That was easy.
That was easy. Okay.
That one
Let's see if this one's just as easy then. Who would be Maya with Azania?
Maya
Letitia.
I knew everyone was going to go Maya Letitia.
Mia's our.
Mia's our. Maya Letitia.
You tricked us there, Barry. Tricked us.
It was the Z. It was the Z.
And I am very proud of myself because all 3 of you went Maya Letitia. I love my job so much. And your last one, this is one for all of our African friends out there, the Malawi Chillers. Which I think would make a great football team name.
Rachel Williams?
Yes, Rachel Williams. Good job, Andrew. Genuinely, what a great name for a football team that would be. Malawi Chillers. I like that one.
I'm such a bad loser as well, so I hate this game.
Well, you haven't lost. You've drawn with Andrew.
No.
Currently. But don't forget, we've got our 3 magnificent emoji game ones to come up now. This one.
It's making me dislike Christmas even more.
I'm so sorry. Who might this be?
Lucia Garcia.
No.
Lucia Garcia. Number 17.
I have to say, the baguette in the middle did not help. I actually wanted that to be a French flag, but we didn't have it on StreamYard.
Melvin. No.
No, nice thinking.
Who's French?
She is French. Yes, absolutely.
A baguette. Baggers is gone. Baguette.
That is going to kill you. Think about the calendar. What sort of month might you get on the calendar? And then think about what you need there to sneeze.
Maya Letitia.
Good boy. Yes, nailed it, Dan.
It was when you said what
Maya,
one.
May in the calendar. French because le. You know, you're not going to get le from anything
Oh,
else.
yeah.
And then tissue. Tissue, eh? So there we go. Somebody said baggers. Interesting
I said
idea,
baggers.
PJ.
I said baggers.
Perhaps he was confused as to why you said that then. But there we go. That was that one. Who's next?
Ski stop.
Nikita Paris? No.
Ski stop. Ski stop. This is ridiculous. Ski stop.
Stop.
Yes, that well-known player scored 5 goals. Go on, ski stop.
Oh.
Here goes.
What's
Yeah.
that coming over the hill? Is it a ski stop? Is it a ski stop?
Right, you're really distracting us now.
We've got a mini Turner. Right, think about it. We've got a tick, which as a teacher you would use to do what to people's work?
Clean sheets.
Mark.
Mark
Go on then.
Skinner.
Yes, Mark Skinner. Mark.
Oh.
D. No. Good. Nick, you're not losing anymore. Andrew's losing. He's got to get
Yeah.
this one in order to not end up out of it all. And this one, don't even try just reading it from left to right because it won't work.
Man, no.
Hannah Blundell. Nikita Parry.
Magic question.
Ella Toon.
It's not Ella Toon.
Who's Magic?
Melvin Mallard.
Indeed.
Hinny. Music. Magic.
I genuinely thought the one would give it away.
Wand. A wand.
A wand.
Wand.
Oh, Emma Watson.
Emma Watson.
Oh,
Connor
yeah.
gets it. Well played,
Who's
Connor.
Sarah?
Going to give it to Dan as well for the first one here. But yes, Emma Watson, Hermione Granger.
Harry
Was that one
Potter
the
reference.
of what and then what song because it's music. So there you go. Well, there we go. That was all of our fun and games that we have undertaken there. Gang, as ever, it falls to me to thank you for the time that you spent coming on. Dan, especially over on the men's channel. We've seen you a lot there and we're looking forward to seeing you a little bit later on in that as well. Same for you, Andrew. You can see both of them. But there may or may not be similar sort of things happening on the men's channel, depending on how quickly I can get those written out. But we shall see. And of course, Vic, always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us. Merry Christmas to each and every single one of you three. We're going to segue again. And I feel like for this one, the only place we can go, as you almost mentioned it there, Vic, is Villa away. And look at that again. Slick, smooth, done. Everybody's gone. And we've got some brand new people in, which are fantastic. We've got Andy Slater in, last deadline day introduction. So really good to have you in. Beth, who appears to be joining us from her car, which is commitment personified. And then, of course, just underneath, we've got Mark W. and John Neville. Lovely to see you all. How are we? We all good?
Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
Very good.
Yeah, we're good. Good.
Smash what we like to hear. So we are literally just asking you at the moment your highlight of 2023, the things that really stand out for you. So we're going to go for that, and we'll go all the way around again, but this time we'll start with Andy, we'll go around to Beth and Mark, and then finish there with John. What's your highlights of 2023?
We're just going general highlight. Give me free reign to say anything about this year. No
Preferably
category.
about United, but if you want to start talking about
okay.
the joys of the recession, go for it. You know, I mean,
Well, with that kind of freedom, I'm going to say the growth of the fanzine. If I'm allowed to throw a little plug
absolutely
in there.
go for it. You're not censored here, sunshine.
Good to see Mark on, who's a regular contributor, and put some fine opinions across. But yeah, just not necessarily the whole, I'm out there selling this fanzine and people are buying it, but stood up outside Morrison's at games. People follow on Twitter, people buy it online, but being stood outside Morrison's opposite the main stand, and people who aren't even on Twitter coming across, having a look which one it is, having a chat, asking if it's a new one, buying it if it is. If it isn't, sticking around for a chat, and just being that kind of fixture in the match day. You know, there are a handful of people that, you know, everybody's on Twitter these days, but apparently not everybody is. And people that just come across and search for it manually, you know, they don't wait for a tweet to cross the path or a Substack email to come out. They actively keep an eye out and then look for it and come and find me and have a chat. And those human interactions, which feel like something from a bygone era in this wonderful world of YouTube and Twitter and all this kind of stuff. So just, you know, people coming up face to face, saying hello, buying it off me, having a chat regardless, and just enjoying human company.
Very good. And Beth, for you?
Yeah, I would say getting into the Champions League, but then also, like Andy said, just the growth of the fans, and I've seen more fans over here in the States as well, which is really, really cool. So currently that's my top two, but yeah.
No, that's fair enough. Mark, as Andy says, you've done a lot of writing for the fanzine. You've joined us a few times on here as well.
Yeah.
But what's the highlight for you? What's been the joy of being a Man United
I think
fan?
a late contender, to be honest, Barry, was that emoji for Fallon Tullis Joy she did earlier on. How you got away with that, I don't know.
I don't know. I get away with half the stuff I do
like
on this
getting
channel.
away with a red card challenge. That my personal favourite moment this year was the game against City and the support before and during that game from the fans, because we'd had the disappointment of Wembley, which was just, I mean, I was like a bird with a sore paw. After that, that's been the biggest low point in football for me. And I've seen a few low points, you know, over the years, but that was a real low point. And when we got into that game against City, and it didn't need the flags and all the rest of it, but there just seemed to be a celebratory spirit about it. And for me, that's what Man United should be. It should be, even though we'll have low points, it's being with your fans, it's being with your fellow Reds, and coming together and being defiant. And we were that day, and the team were as well, with the late winner from Lucia as well. So I'd say that.
I think I would agree with those. And John, I know that you get yourself down there as often as you can as well. What's your thoughts been on this season and this year?
Yeah, I think the main thing is, you know, that we broke the cycle of the top three teams. At the end of last season, you know, breaking into that top three was, you know, big moment for us. I think obviously we perhaps could have gone one better, but you know, getting second place, you know, finishing above Arsenal and City, I think was a massive thing for us, and also getting to that FA Cup final was a big achievement for us as well. You know, I think we really took some big steps last season. So yeah, they were the main things from my point of view.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, there we go. That has covered the very first part of what we need to do today. But the next thing we've been asking you, it all comes down to off the pitch. It's your Christmas movies go-to. Now, we've had a couple of Grinches, although one of the Grinches did pull out the Polar Express out of nowhere, so that was good. But we'll go the other way around this time. John, what's your must-watch Christmas? My brother-in-law, it always used to be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because that was on every year. What is it for you?
I think for me, my inner child, I like sort of like the more animated stuff like Wallace and Gromit, any of those, or any of the Toy Story films as well. Quite a popular one for me on Christmas Day.
Very nice. Mark, what would it be for you?
Well, a Christmas themed film that I really enjoy. And I think, to be honest, it's probably, I get the impression it's more popular in America than it is here, but A Christmas Story, which is about the lad who wants the BB gun for Christmas, and you shoot your eye out and everything. Love it. Watch it every year. And I just think it's a fabulous sort of gentle but funny Christmas film. Love it.
Very nice. Beth, talking there about American films potentially. What would it be for you?
There's a couple. There's The Grinch with Jim Carrey, Elf. I have a lot of nostalgia with the Polar Express because of my grandmother, and then probably the Santa Claus, like multiple movies with Tim Allen. I love them.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Good thinking. Good thinking. And Andy, what would it be for you? Obviously, you've got young children. Do they force you into watching them, or are you a secret fan yourself?
We have to make a lot of effort to get Sophie to watch any films, really. She has a couple of favourites, but it's hard to get her to watch the ones we know that she'd love. But my favourite is the classic Santa Claus the movie. Has that not had a mention yet?
Not the one with Tim Allen?
No. Santa Claus the movie. The classic. Surely you know Santa Claus the movie. Not the Santa Claus.
Who's in it?
Do you know, it's that much of a classic. I wouldn't even recognise the guy that plays Santa Claus other than from that film. That is all he does.
Well, there you go.
He acted in that film and then he just retired because that was it. That was peak. It's brilliant. Has anybody else heard of this film?
Yeah.
Probably
Moore's an elf in it.
It's a real film.
Moore's in it as an elf.
Yeah. So yeah, it's.
I watched it the other day.
brilliant.
Actually, I watch as many as I can this time of year. I love them. Even if they're bad, I watch them this time of year. I don't care.
I only have one issue with it, and that's where when Patch is in that fancy car at the end, he's flying along, and Santa's got the reindeer, and he says, "The super duper looper, it's the only way." And it's like, no, Santa, that's not the only way. Just fly steadily below him, and you'll catch him just fine. Don't get the reindeer doing the loop they've never managed before. Just fly steadily underneath, keep it safe, keep it steady, and catch the guy as he falls. Yeah, you know it. That's the one. Yeah,
Dudley Moore and John Lithgow. There
we go. Who's more recently been Winston Churchill in The Crown, which we've been watching, is much better as BZ from BZ Toys.
Indeed.
A potential favourite though, which we haven't dared to watch again. Sophie's first Christmas. She was 4 months old. We got her in bed. We settled down to watch Elf.
Oh, yeah.
We pressed pause just as it was starting. Went in the kitchen to get some snacks, and it was raining through the kitchen ceiling. Sophie's first Christmas, 4 months old, and it's raining in the kitchen. There was a leak from a radiator upstairs, and we had to pack up all of our first Christmas and go to the in-laws. So we've never dared to start watching Elf again since then.
Understandable.
I can show you, Andy. I've watched it a few times, and that's never happened to me. So I think it's probably safe to have a go.
Personal curse, though. We always intend to, but what if?
There you go. Has anyone else got a film that they've been putting on that they don't then want to watch again just in case? Throw it out there. Christmas dinner plate. What must be on your Christmas dinner plate? Otherwise, you're going to be throwing a fit to the parents, or whoever it is who's making you Christmas dinner. Beth, it's America, so could be anything here. You guys have lots of different stuff. But what's going to be on your Christmas dinner plate?
Scalloped potatoes for me because I'm a massive potato fan. Like any type of potato.
All about the potatoes there. So the spuds for Beth. Mark, what is it for you?
Roast potatoes, definitely, and peas. I could just have roast potatoes and peas, and that'd be it with gravy on. That'd be enough for me.
Roast potatoes and peas. Look at that. 2 people on the spuds. The spud gang over there. John, have you got anything different?
Yeah, I agree with the other guys. Yeah, definitely love the spuds. But for me, it is all about the turkey. To be honest, I do think that.
Which bit of the turkey do you go for? Do you go for the wet meat or the dry meat?
The dry meat, definitely.
You and I would get on, John, because I'd have the wet meat. I can't stand the dry stuff. So there we go. And Andy, what is it for you?
Pigs in blankets. That bit of food that you could have any time of year, but you just don't. You wait till Christmas. And the other day, last day in the office, Manchester City Centre, I walked down to a chippy, and they do deep fried, battered pigs in blankets.
That sounds good.
Sublime.
A plate of mulled wine.
How'd you put that on a plate?
How does that work? Plate of mulled wine. You're going to have to help me out now. Do you mean glass or?
I can see how it might end up on the plate, depending on how many you have.
Yeah, after 7 of them.
PJ, wet meat and dry meat is white meat and dark meat, basically. Yes, you should be able to tell what one is. Wet is the nice, juicy one, and the dry is the one that if you don't have any gravy, and you're just chewing forever. So there we go. Under the Christmas tree, one player. You've all seen it now. You know the general gist of it. Who's the player that you would keep no matter what? They get a lifetime contract as far as you're concerned under your Christmas tree. John, who would you pick?
Personally, I'd go for Leah Galton. I know she's probably not having it's quite a good year so far this season, but I've always been a big fan of Leah, and I think she always contributed a lot to the team. So I'd pick Leah.
Very nice. But Leah Galton over there, Mark.
Millie Turner. I actually thought she might be a weak link in the defence last season, and although I love her and I think she represents United women more than any single player for me, I was willing to see that maybe she was just not quite good enough this season. She has proved me wrong. I think she's been fantastic, and so many of our best moments I've had her at the centre of it. So for me, she is just eternal for Manchester United women.
Millie Turner over there. Andy, who would you go for?
Hayley Ladd.
Which one? 1 or 12?
Well, if we could have 12, I think we'd be in a great position.
Wouldn't we?
She comes across as kind of the quiet player that does the quiet work, but for a defensive midfielder, I think she almost redefines defensive midfielder. People see a defensive midfielder as somebody who sits in front of the back four and protects them, but Hayley Ladd defends all over the pitch. She's not restricted to that kind of advanced position within our own half. She knows where the defence needs to happen. She can be the first to the ball once it's turned over to the opposition. And she had a little bit of poor form, but she seems to be coming back into her own. I am hoping for big things from our new midfielders once they get settled and fit. But I think a Hayley Ladd on form is always a contender to start the match.
There you go. Good stuff. NT has confirmed this happens when you have 5 litres at your disposal. So it sounds like it would have been an entire plate. I'm not sure how that works. But hey, you do you. Enjoy it. Beth, who would you pick?
Is it bad if I also say Millie Turner? I absolutely love her at the back. I also really, really like her character and just love everything she represents off the pitch as well. So she's been one of my favorite players this past year. It's absolutely fun to see her come back from a massive injury and just become one of the key players in the team. And it's really a feel-good story, but also like she definitely deserves it 100%.
No, very good. NT throwing May Letizier's name in there just because she gets nowhere near as much praise as she should. Also a good shout. I'm going to ask you all to give me your goal and your match together. So the goal you'd love to watch on repeat, and the one match that you would love to be able to sit and rewatch again as well. And we'll go with Mark on this one, I think.
Millie at Villa last season, or Millie against West Ham this season. I mean, to be honest, the one against West Ham, I just had my heart in my mouth thinking, what the hell's she doing up there? And then she just took it on and scored the goal of the game. That was just incredible. And game, as I said before, the City game of last season, not the one at Old Trafford this season, the one towards the end of the season at LSV last season, for me, was the most enjoyable game of the year for the reasons I gave before.
Yeah, smashing. John, for you?
For me, it's game-wise, it's the Villa away game at the end of last season. The atmosphere and the scenes when that winning goal went in, that was just phenomenal. Probably the best away end I've been a part of. And then for the goal, I think I'd probably go for Hayley Ladd against City at LSV. The game after that, incredible strike for being so early in the match, and it really set us up for that win.
Very nice indeed. Beth, what be your goal in your match?
Probably the match, Villa, and then last season, and then the goal, probably honestly, the winner against Arsenal at Old Trafford. That was extremely fun. I actually was able to watch that one, which this year has been crazy with work that I haven't been able to watch as many as I'd like. So that's kind of up there for me.
Yeah, this would have been my one, Kevin, but that was last year, unfortunately, as we were playing that one to death on the last Christmas cracker. But what a goal that was to be able to play. Andy, which would you have chosen, goal and match?
These both options might seem a little bit off the wall because it's a game that we lost and a goal that didn't count. It's the cup final because of where it felt like we were. I mean, currently it kind of contradicts what I'm about to say, but it kind of felt like a real pinpoint of where we were in our journey as a team. And it was, we as legacy football fans, we talk about match day not being billed as a day out, but as the football. But football also can be a day out for legacy fans, and a cup final is a day out. And I was 6 when I first went to Wembley in the replay against Palace in 1990, and then I got to take Sophie as a 7-year-old to her first Wembley final, and to have her on the coach with the supporters club, with my friends surrounded me, getting on with Sophie, being there in the stands with her. And I also Michelle Wilcock, who I interviewed in issue 2 of Barmy article, played for United pre-2005. She was at that match, and seeing her look down Wembley Way and see so many fans there for a Women's Cup final, to see her reaction and for her to be overwhelmed by that much interest in a women's game. And then the goal, Leah Galton's disallowed goal, it was offside, can't argue with it, but those few seconds when we thought it counted, that was the most pure reaction I recall from myself in a long time, including the last years of watching the men's team. Just grabbing Sophie next to me and pure ecstasy, thinking that we'd gone 1-0 up. And then up to the point that it got disallowed, which was correct, you can't argue, it was just sheer joy. And the game itself, it was the joy and despair of football all in one. No, it was that elation of going ahead when you thought you'd gone ahead. The almost, it's relentless Chelsea scoring a goal despite not really being in the game for the first part of it. The game had everything.
It did.
And that goal is probably the best I've felt up for those few seconds of thinking it counted.
It was a heck of a moment. You are not wrong at all. And I can remember joyously jumping about the room and then being incredibly depressed, like you say, when it was disallowed. But that was a heck of a game, and what a way to have almost ended the season that was. Well, guys, you passed all of the main tests, but there's one last test you've got to pass before we get to let you go. And obviously, you are the third lot now, so I could potentially be scraping the barrel. I don't know. We shall see. But we will kick off with the anagrams as ever. So here we go. Who would have a movie star name of Angel Loathe?
Leah Golson.
Leah Golton. Mark is on.
Took a bit of getting that.
There.
It's easy when somebody says it, isn't it?
As soon as they say it, they all move into the right order. Absolutely. You are not wrong. And well done to JJ and Vic. Vic got that one as well. Go on, Vic. Also, who would be playing the man alongside Angel? Mike Teasel.
Katie Zellum.
Are you not mucking about there? Straight in with that one. Oh, I knew that one would be easy, but this one not so much. This one would be Airstrip Akin.
Nikita Paris.
Jinx.
Oh, it was Jinx. Who did you jinx with though? Mark W. Who did you say that with? Was it Andy?
I just jinxed Mark. He's not allowed to speak now, so we've got a chance.
Oh, well, that's be interesting then. See if the other two have got a chance.
Although you've gone and said his name, Barry. You've ruined
Yeah, you
it.
said my name. That
now.
means that the jinx is removed. So I'm
He's
all
back
right.
in now. We had a chance for a minute then.
That was, of course, Nikita Paris. So who would be Nans Merrick? Merrick, of course, the famous surname of the Elephant Man.
You're going to have to give us this one, Barry. This is dreadful TV.
I can't get that.
It can't be that dreadful. Come on, I'm sure you can manage to get it.
It's just 5 people
Mark Skinner?
staring at us.
Mark Skinner, best
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Couldn't have thrown that one in any easier. Well, if you thought that one was difficult, boys and girls, this one could potentially send you over the edge. Who would be post-medial fan-tailed?
Come on.
Technically not a first teamer. But yet regularly in the squad.
It's
Saf Middleton Patel.
Saf Middleton.
Well done, Andy. Safia Middleton Patel. Very good. Some people, I'm sure, shouting that out in the comments. Yes, Sarah getting in there with Saf. High Lane getting Saf as well. Yeah, we'll give High Lane another one. Good job, people out there. Which means your last little bit is, of course, your emojis. And again, I can only apologise for these. But here we go. What do you reckon to this one?
Terrible at these at the worst of times, but yours have just thrown me completely.
So we've got a bride and a groom.
Your ones I didn't get any of them.
Bride and a groom. What are they going to do?
Mary Earps.
There you go. Go on, Beth. Mary. Mary, because they're marrying. And then Ia.
I'm on strike for the next ones. That's dreadful.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, you think that one was bad? Here's your next one. This one I actually quite like. I think this one is a good one.
Gemma Watson. Oh no, not Gemma. Emma Watson. I just saw Gem, and then the rest of it just spilt out.
You started so well.
It's Gemma Evans.
Yeah, Gemma Evans. There you go. Gem, Ma for mum, and then Evans because that's when you find angels, right? I don't know if this is going to survive next year, but we shall see. The last one. Before we let you go, here it is. think about what this is, what this could mean.
Hannah Blundell.
Yes, well done, John.
Yep.
Sneaks in with the last one. Hand, no, balloon, Dell for delivery.
Oh.
Quite confused as well there, I suppose.
Are we allowed to swear on this show, Barry?
Well, I guess what you would be saying.
It'd be a gentle swear word.
The Gemma Evans one was good though, wasn't it?
It was the least bad. It was
the least bad. Thank you very much. That means a lot coming from you, Andy.
The only one I've been able to get all day. So yeah.
Before we do go, Barry, can I
Yes.
usually I plug the fanzine. Can I plug something else?
You can plug pretty much whatever you like, I think.
It'll be quick.
Go for it.
Now, Mark should be good at those anagrams because Mark is technically a published author. So if you want to get a late Christmas present for any readers in your life, have a look on Amazon. It might get there tomorrow. It might not. It might be there after Christmas, but it'll be worth it. He's wrote a novel called Balls about a female manager taking charge of a men's League 2 team, and it is well worth a read. He is not just a regular contributor to the fanzine; he is an author. So have a look for that book. I've read it.
Appreciated. Thank you.
I've read it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's well worth a read. Go and have a look and buy it for your loved ones.
Sounds like a great idea. Well, we will definitely have a look for that one. And of course, if you see Andy, you see the Barmy article, buy it. It's a fantastic thing. The first fanzine
article always worth a read
in women's football. So by all means, go for it, Beth. Hope you have happy holidays, I believe we would say out there for you guys.
Yep.
But Merry Christmas as well, as we would say there. Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to leave you with that magical goal that took us into Andy's favourite game. There you go. Would you believe it? We've actually managed to have smooth, slick ones done. And congratulations, Helen. You get bonus points for being the only other person to turn up with their Christmas garb on. But Matt, to be honest, just pleased you turned up at all. So thank you very much for joining us as well. Well, you may or may not have seen, because I know you guys have been a bit busy during the day, what we've been doing this evening. But it's all about 2023, your highlights, maybe your lowlights, depending on where we get to. But the big thing I need to ask you is about your highlights, really. So 2023, as a Man United fan, what is it that's really been the highlight for you so far this year? And Matt, we'll kick off with you.
I'm going to start in January when we battered Liverpool 6-0. I think that was a good start to the new year. I know it was talked about by a couple of guests that you just had on before me about sort of Wembley in the FA Cup final. Certainly before the final whistle anyway. And then I suppose the Champions League games, or at least qualifying for the Champions League, and then getting the opportunity to play PSG. The less said about the bias in the away leg, the better. But yeah, I think those are ones that stand out for me. And I suppose the battering of Everton as well. We've got to add that in there because that seems to happen most years as well. But yeah, I think those are a few key highlights to me, or things that stick out.
Absolutely. How about for you, Helen? What's been the things that stick out for you?
Finishing second in the league, that was a good one. The deadline day signings, thought they were good, if a bit last minute. And of course, the FA Cup final's got to be up there.
All very good shouts. All very good shouts. Now, we've not asked the others this, but we will ask you two as well. Is there anything that sort of stuck out for you that's not been particularly great so far this year that maybe counts as one of your sadder parts of the year? For me, obviously, honour leaving is quite a big one. But anything that sort of sticks out for you that's been a little bit pants?
you want me to go first?
Anytime you like, yeah, no problems whatsoever. There's only 3 of us here.
Yeah, I think for me, losing the derby at Old Trafford was a kick in the teeth, and then followed up by that defeat to Liverpool. Yeah, I think your 2 biggest rivals, I think the 2 teams that you really want to beat, other obviously than Chelsea and Arsenal, like, you know, your 2 local sides. I think just the performance, the way we played in them, frustrating to watch and frustrating results. So I think those 2 so far for me have got to be, disappointments really.
Helen?
Last season's Conti Cup. That was early this year, wasn't it? It was just a non-event. And of course, the departures in the summer. I mean, but maybe we're seeing now the personnel that left rather than the player. Whoops. Sorry. That was a cat.
The cat is a menace. They wanted to get involved, didn't they?
Yeah. I think the effect on the dressing room of some of the players that have left is evident now. So that's not great. Hopefully we can get it back. That sort of team cohesion.
I think I would agree with all that you guys have said so far. Now we've been talking a lot about Christmas films as well so far. What happens in the Matt and Helen households when it comes to Christmas? Give us your top 3 Christmas films, Matt.
Oh, pressure.
Can't pre-warn you of everything. That would just be boring.
Top 3 Christmas. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I don't actually get too much time to sit down and watch stuff. I'll be brutally honest. Like Harry Potter's been on the last few Saturdays, but that's not a Christmas film, so I can't even include that.
You can watch it at Christmas. I've got no problems with it.
I suppose Home Alone, the classic. You know, that's always on, isn't it? People say Die Hard's a Christmas film, and it rattles me, that one. I don't know why. I just don't feel like it is. Even though I want to say it because I love it, it's just not for me personally. It's not a Christmas film, but
I mean, the soundtrack is definitely full of Christmas songs, and it was based on Christmas Eve, and it was snowy. But
true.
I don't know if people just want to. I you saw it, but Patrice Evra was asked what his favourite Christmas film was on A League of Their Own, I think it's called, and he just goes to Godfather. And like, that's not a Christmas film. He's like, yeah, but I'll watch it at Christmas. So, you know, I think that works.
Yeah.
I think that works. Helen, which sort of films would you be watching?
I don't really watch Christmas films. I'm one of those, I know.
I should have pre-warned you to. It would have pre-warned me not to do this part of the segment.
I do like Muppets Christmas Carol.
There we go.
But I haven't watched it for about 10 years. So
okay, fair enough.
I can't like it that much, clearly.
No. Very good. And the other thing we're going to ask you is what goes on your Christmas dinner plate that has to be there. If there's no Christmas dinner plate, you know, what would get you annoyed basically if it's not on the Christmas dinner plate? I've already said pigs in blankets for me. What would it be for you guys? Matt?
I think roast potatoes has got to be on there. Obviously, after the obvious, which is turkey. I think the next thing after the turkey I'm looking for is the roast potatoes.
And for you, Helen?
Probably a bit left field. Cauliflower cheese.
Cauliflower cheese. Interesting. Didn't see that. NT saying Die Hard is a Christmas Eve film then.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
One would argue, oh, this is a good one. Nobody's mentioned it yet. It's a Wonderful Life. Absolutely. That is a classic. Classic. It's so good and so classical. I actually only saw it for the first time last year. So there you go. And it's been out for like hundreds and hundreds of years, it feels like. Very good. Well, where we've been going with this next was almost like your Christmas wishes. So if you were to wake up Christmas morning and there were 3 things under your Christmas tree, those 3 things could be one of, it's going to be a player. So a player that you'd give a lifetime contract to, somebody you feel like United can't do without. And then your favourite goal and your favourite match that you could watch on repeat whenever you wanted to. Just like there, you click your fingers and whoo, there it is. You can see it. So that's how I managed to get Christmas into that one this year. So Matt, where would you go with your player first of all? Which player can Man United not do without?
I'm gonna say Mayer. What to say? I think obviously very good young player. Lots more to come from her, and I think give her a few years and she'll probably be one of the best centre halves. I'm going to say in Europe. I'm going to actually put that out there. So yeah, I'm going to say Mayer, just because I love watching her play. Very composed for her age, very mature, and a very good player. So I think when we got her in, that was for me, I was delighted. Very, very good bit of business by the club.
Very good. What about for you, Helen? Who would be your player?
Garcia at the moment. I think she's sometimes the only one that seems to be wanting to drive forward and attack and be no nonsense, just get at players, make things happen. So yeah, and she's still got that unpredictability for the opposition, and she's quick, and yeah, we know how good she is. So yeah, I'd love her to stay forever.
Okay, very good. And then of course goal and match. If you could put those in together, Matt, what would be your goal and your match that you would choose?
Do you know what match? I know this is going to start, obviously, of all the games I've had over the years. I'm going to go back to season 1. Just that one when we played Lewis, the last game of the season, lifted the league. I mean, I know it's the only trophy we've won, but it just brings back good memories, like a good day. Overall, I think they shifted the kickoff and put that back as well from memory. So that was something that stuck out. Goal. Ooh. Goal's a difficult one. I might have to come back there, Barry, and have a think. Put me right on the spot.
Okay, well then let's go with your goal and match, Helen.
Match would be the derby win against City at Lee. I think that was the one Eddie Robot got sent off. So that was hilarious. Goal would be the Rachel Williams winner against Reading away, because I was there for that one, and when she first got it, I was like, hit it, just screaming. And obviously, she took a couple of touches and then did hit it. So yeah, we just couldn't hit the barn door that day, and then finally, just the relief and everything, and yeah, great goal, and the importance of it as well to get the 3 points. Yeah.
Very good. What about for you then, Matt? The one that you needed to come back for?
Do you know what? I'm trying to think of like ones that stuck out in terms of like the meaning of it. Because I'm trying to think like back to the first season in the WSL and played Liverpool. But I'm thinking there, looking at the comments, and somebody's just reminding me of the Katie Zellum and then the free kick against City, which I actually got on video. When played my LSV. Do you know what? I'm going to go for that free kick. I think just because of the pure emotions of it, of like I say, that first season in the WSL and, playing a local rival and things like that. So yeah, I think I'll go for Zellum's free kick versus City.
Very good. Okay then. Well, that has pretty much done us for today, to be fair. I don't think there are any questions I have missed out with regards to that, other than, I suppose, the fact that we've got the big game coming up in just a second. I'm just literally putting the last emoji one on. What I will ask you, though, is on a scale of 1 to 10, how much you rated this picture. We do love this picture, right? It's without doubt the picture of the day, picture of the year, and Andrew was a legend for finding it. Right, let's get us ready for your lovely little game. Here's your first one. It's the Hanover Jibe. Yeah, not an easy one. Might have to go young on this one.
Connor's sacking you off.
Yeah, I can't put it up because I've got to keep your Hanover jibe up. But he won't be sacking me, not at all.
Young.
Sporty has got it. Yes, it's Evie Rabjohn. Well done, Sporty. He's nailed it. Evie Rabjohn, it was. Well done. Okay, this one's a tricky one. Let's see how you get on with this one. It's Agassi Redeliver Fear, which I think is what a lot of people had when they were playing tennis against Andre. They're always might be a bit of a redelivery back to them. It's a bit of a naughty one, this one. Really.
What, like they're in the devs? Kind of.
No, they're in the first team, very much in the first team. You just probably wouldn't expect to see all of these letters.
That's got to be surely Jay's full name.
It is Jay's full name. Kevin said it earlier on. Jay's D'Souza Ferreira would have been a good anagram. Well, there it is. That is your anagram that we were looking at. Agassi, Redeliver Fear, and that is Matt. Well
Where's
done.
the Y? Where's the Y? Where's the Y for Jace?
Yeah, redelivery. I said it out loud, but I didn't write it on there. So I have made one mistake today. There we go. So
I could have got that if there was a Y. Never mind.
It's only because the comments, Barry said, "Oh yeah, you're missing the Y," so I thought it has to be that.
made it obvious there. It's the Agassi redelivery here. There we go. Listen, I've not done bad considering I've been doing this now for an hour and 37 minutes. What about an airy jive read? What my airy jive read? Jade Riviere. Very good. Well done, Matt. And this one, Retire Lunmill.
Millie Turner.
Very good, Helen. Well done. She's got into it now. And this is my favourite one. If Connor was driving this car the day he met Aoife Mannion, he probably would have had a Citroen Clang.
Lucia Garcia.
This is not Lucia Garcia. It's a nice bit of thought.
Of course it is. Leah Gold. No. I'll stop.
It's not Leah Goulton. TJ's gone for that one as well. We're struggling with this one. I'll give you a clue. She's doing very well in London.
Grace Clinton.
Grace Clinton. Very good. Well done, Helen. Right, so that's the anagrams. Now, I can only apologise for this one. It's very hard. The ones that not every emoji that I've worked on at home is available on StreamYard, which is scuppered somewhat.
What's the second one? Waves?
If it was up to me, it would be like a stretch of water between two banks.
Like a...
I've deliberately not said what that would be.
A river. Riviera.
Exactly. Aid. Riviera. Very good.
Okay.
Hard one.
These are the
I'm
levels.
really annoyed with that one. It's not what I wanted to, but we got there. This I thought that was bad. This one's even worse. So it's an insect and a wheel.
You see, the second bit's not showing for me. I see a white box.
Oh, that's a wheel, Matt.
Oh, no.
And as Tina Turner tells us, the big wheel keeps on
rolling.
Millie Turner.
It is Millie Turner. Yes, that's a millipede. For those who weren't sure. So Millipede Turner was indeed who that was. And then I came up with Tina Turner as well. That's definitely not a snake. No. People that said it was real. I like that. That was good. You can join me on the writing team next year. Right, the last one. I'm actually quite pleased with this one because I've literally just made it up. Here we go. So in case you're not sure, Matt, can you see all of the things there?
I can now, yeah. I'm just questioning the other one still. It's all good. You'll see what I mean in a minute.
So we've got a sun, something you'd find at the seaside, a document, and the letter M 3 times. No, it's not Eminem, in case anyone mentions that. It's not Katie Zellum. It's not Melvin. There's no ducks to be seen. What comes off of the sun?
Rays.
Rays. And that is on the seaside. You pick up a
Shell. Rachel Williams.
Rachel Williams. Rachel. So Will and then M's.
That's quite
I see
good.
the Chuckle Brothers are in the comments. Look. Up one.
Eminem. Very good. And Gareth, do you own any other shirts apart from that England one? It's thrown out there for you. But there we go. Thank you, TJ.
Turned up to watch his.
Connor's some more of these to do himself.
Yeah.
But there we go. Well, listen, it's been lovely to have the pair of you on again. Thank you very much for joining us. Much appreciated as ever. I wish you both a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us at the times that you have so far this year. And we look forward to seeing you more as we move into 2020. Or we've got one last switch over to do. And for this one, I'm going to have to be really on it because it's a much smaller and shorter turnaround. But this was probably, for All for United, our biggest moment of the season. But oh my goodness, it looks like a sort of a during COVID pandemic present.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you also. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Does it look like I've got a neck brace on?
It does look a bit like you've got a neck brace on. I mean, it also looks like you've maybe had a few sherbets since lunchtime. So this could be very entertaining. Very entertaining indeed as we do the last leg, the final leg to take us home. And yes, indeed, look at that quiff. My goodness, it's fun. Don't know if you knew about this, Gareth, because you may not have seen it, but there is actually.
Do you know what I love in that video is seeing all of the kids' reactions, just looking, going, "Who the hell is this Connor that everyone's singing about?"
Exactly that, right? But there we go. That's superb stuff. Oh, look, Sporty's in with the puns. It's a Merry Christmas. Very nice. Well done. Erlin's thinking if you might be wearing parts of the Christmas tree. Connor thinks he's giving out the handshakes at Anfield. I know, right? I'm impressed. I managed this all through it. A few sherbets equal alcohol. Absolutely, it does. What have you done to me? Your quiz has pushed her over the edge. She's got to take part in it yet. And whilst I'm doing the final little bits of that, Connor doesn't need to answer this. Mia, it's all down to you. Due to we had a couple of people with family things going on that weren't able to join us. So we'll ask you the questions. And the first question is your highlight and your low light of 2023. I would stick with the low light first because then we can just have jollity for the remainder of the afternoon.
So I'm doing this United based, am I?
I mean, that would be handy as a Manchester United channel after all. But you could
Okay.
try and go to Barcelona if you want. People are aware that that's where you spend your time.
Right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Of course. Well, I really picked up on the season in about March, so I'm going off of that. But I think the highlight for me, for a number of different reasons, was probably the FA Cup final. That was a big occasion in my eyes because I was like, my goodness, this team who have sort of come from nowhere have flown up the league, and now are taking on Chelsea at Wembley. I was in the press box. It was my first time at Wembley in the press box, and looking at the United fans and the Chelsea fans just filling the stadium. I think the first FA Cup I went to was in 2014. So to see that change was huge for me, and I was really impressed with that. So I think that in terms of me, and also, I think I'd made an appearance. Did I make an appearance on AFU at that point? Maybe I didn't.
You probably did. I mean, you've been around the block a few times with us now.
So yeah, I was sort of aware of the community, and I was keeping my eye on United and stuff like that. So that's probably my highlight. And also doing Villa away with Connor. That's the first time I met Connor, and that was it was a rough game to sit through, but really good occasion to get back out and watch football. I started with my highlight, and you asked me to start with my low light. So
I was aware of that as I did it, but I'm not going to interrupt you. You go for it, girl.
Oh, sorry. Right. Anyway, low light. We'll turn this around. Probably losing Honor for me as a neutral at the time, to see her leave the league. For me was pretty gutting because, as I say, I only really realised what was happening with United in about March. So I didn't really get a lot of time to see her play. The times I did see her play was tremendous, and she's now obviously smashing it at Barcelona. But that's probably a low light for me. Also watching see this, I might turn it around here, Barry. Watching Millie Turner score that absolute worldie against West Ham, that was a low light for me personally. But it was a good day for United, I guess.
It's a brilliant day for United. Absolutely. We love it when we beat West Ham, those occasional moments when it seems to happen. So there we go. So that was your highlight, like Christmas movies. Throw us in with your ones. What do you watch? Oh God, don't do that face. I'm worried that there's so many people that don't watch Christmas films nowadays.
I don't, and I hate being that part. I really don't like watching films, to be fair, Barry. But I do have a couple of good Christmas films that I do enjoy, and number one is Elf, which I know has been said countless times this evening, but that's just a good, reliable, fun film. I mentioned earlier, don't like any of the Home Alones. I just don't get it. Just don't get it in my brain. It doesn't. Why are you going to leave your kid at home? Anyway, what other? I don't even know what other. I've never seen Die Hard. I know you was talking about that earlier.
Whoa! You've never seen Die Hard?
No,
I've never even heard of it. So
you've not even heard of it either.
Which won't surprise you, but I've got no idea what.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. But maybe I'll do some research. I should have done some research, actually. I should have known.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, right. Well, fair enough. What about your Christmas dinner? What must be on the Christmas dinner plate for you?
Okay, this might be a bit controversial as well. Most of my family are vegetarians, so it really depends how much alcohol we've drunk. But for the most part, we don't have the usuals. So we have a lot of veg. We do a lot of Yorkshire puddings. My nan will bring the pigs in blankets, and again, after we've had a few drinks, then we aren't vegetarians anymore. I don't know what that means, but okay. So yeah.
But there we go.
Oh,
Well,
dear.
some fair points made there, I suppose. Let me just check. I've definitely asked you all the questions I meant to ask you. Obviously, the other big question that needed to be asked was your opinion on this picture.
Oh, that's my
Oh,
favorite
for the love
picture.
of God. How many times?
That's my favorite
How many
picture.
times I realise that there it is again, and it's off, and then it's on again, and then it's off again. It's lovely. It's just the power of the button. It was brilliant, wasn't it? But in all seriousness, we did a little segue there for the pair of you, where you were both at the FCAs, and Mia, obviously with your channel Vavel, you've done incredibly well there. You got yourself the silver award in your category. Obviously, we got the bronze award in our category. Just between the pair of you, just give everyone a sort of a little idea as to just how cool that was. First of all, to just get nominated, because that in itself is a massive achievement. But to then go up against some of these bigger names and get the sort of results that we got. So Mia and then Connor, feel free to jump in afterwards.
Yeah, I mean it was madness. I got an email through saying that we'd been nominated, and I couldn't believe it. I sent it straight away to Robin and Max, who are the two other editors, and we just couldn't believe it. At the time when we got the email, we didn't know who was in our group with us, so we was just sort of like, it was mental for us to even be nominated. We'd worked really hard throughout the year. We'd only really started our women's football office in January, so it's still really new. We're not even we're coming up to a year. So for us to be nominated was huge. And then the actual event, to find out you guys were nominated as well, that was massive, and that we could do this process together. And me and Connor were saying the whole time, was like, we're doing it for each other. One of us has to come away with something. If we don't, we don't. We've had a good night, but we know that we deserve it, in the best way possible. Because I mean, you guys especially put in so much work, and I know that from knowing you behind the scenes. But yeah, that night was incredible, and I'd think about it a lot. We had a lot to drink. We did some karaoke in the middle of Liverpool, and yeah, it's just one of those things that is definitely a highlight of my year generally, and we're just going to build off it, and we're going for gold next year, both of us.
For sure. I mean, it's lovely that you mentioned the karaoke, because I am pretty sure that Connor's about to burst into song. I believe that was part of the reason of having him on at the end. He's going to come on and have yourself a very Barry Christmas. So I'm really looking forward to it. But go on, Connor. What was it like being there from the All for United perspective?
Yeah, well, I've just tried to find it. And it is, there he is, for people who forgot what it looked like. There he is. It's I did manage just to find it. And it's in a drawer on its own. I won't put anything else near it, because
Definitely looking after it then. Just
yeah,
drawer.
sure.
Mia's on her wall.
Is it still? Yeah, Mia's balanced
I mean,
it up.
I've moved house, but it's moved with me. Can you? I don't know if you can see it up there.
See, out of sight.
Now, yes, I can.
It's in there. Come home with me.
No, I think Mia summed it up pretty well. I think, the whole... I didn't expect... Looking at the category we were in and the people that we were in against, I said this all the time, that, the top three, anyone in that category, whoever came top three, deserves it for me. So I was quite happy with the fact that we were just there and nominated. I think was pretty impressive. So, yeah, as you can see on the reaction, I didn't really know what to do. That's why I just high-five them both, because I'm just like, I don't quite know how to react here. And then Andrew, you can see Andrew kind of tapped me, saying, "Oh, we need to go and collect the award." And obviously we did that, had all the photos and things, but it didn't really hit me until we got back to the table and I asked, "Oh, who won?" Because Mia's category was the one after ours. And I was like, "Oh, who won in that one?" I could see her getting 2 on stage. They were like, "Oh, that Vavel group came second." I was like, "No, I can't repeat what I said." I don't know. So I ran straight over to Mia's table. And yeah, just seeing everyone so emotional, that just kind of set me off then. And then, yeah, just kind of sat in silence, just me, Andrew, and Jess just looking at it on the table for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm not even joking. So, yeah, it kind of just summed up the year because, as you said there, I think we'll say this more next week, and there'll be a tweet next week with kind of stats for the year. But, we've done a lot this year with paddock appearances, the vlogs, and obviously live every, 2-3 times a week, and covered the World Cup as well on here. We've done a hell of a lot this year. So to get that at the end of the year kind of just summed it up for me. Not that we need things that whether we won or not, we'd continue doing this. We don't need awards to carry on doing what we're doing. But yeah, it was a nice thing to have. So yeah, hopefully next year, if we're nominated again, there'll be more of us there, because I'd like to see Barry, Charlie, and a few other people at the awards next year.
Or not holding it in Liverpool would be a really good start for that one. It's a long trek when you've been at work to try and get there for 7 o'clock. But again, just to echo what you guys have said there, it's been amazing, even everything that's happened since then. Really, really proud of everything that this channel has managed to produce. Really proud of what Valvel did as well. And I suppose for me, just really, really love the community. You know, that's what makes All for United for me. It's the fact that you come on. There's some of you still in the chat. Some of you have stayed here since 7 o'clock. Which I don't know if that says more about you or us, if I wanted to you on a Saturday night, but fair play to you for sticking with us. And just absolutely that. It's just an absolute pleasure to come here and spend time with all of you guys. We're going to be getting close to finishing off, but we have got to have the last of our competitions, mainly because I put the effort in, so we might as well use them. Is the general gist of where we're going there. I'm going to kick off with the emojis on this one, purely because there's only 2 of them, and I feel like ending on these would not be a good look. So if we just get them out of the way now. There we go. So this is your first one.
So what's that? So it's a present.
The liberties I've taken with this one are just unreal. So for the last one, you've got to think about what that person might be called.
Well, what? I'm assuming, is it like a gift? Is that what that first? So like begins with a G. Like
what the person might be called?
Yeah.
What a name!
Yes, I'll help you. That's a man's name.
Okay, right.
It's got to be gift. Like gift. I'm thinking of like beginning with G, but I don't know. I'm trying to think who we've got in our team. I'm trying to like run through the whole team.
If I start with the word gift, it's not going to help you. The gift and the lips are very much part of that first bit. It's something I was told that I had when I was younger. It's the gift of the...
Gabby George.
Gabby George. Gift of the Gab. That was the best I could come up with what we had. So it was Gab for Gabby, and George was the name of the man. So there you go. I told you I said we would do that one. We couldn't finish on that.
Right. Can we just say NT's just put a really nice message in? Thanks for that, by the way. But can we get NT on the show? Can we get NT on the show next year? Because he came up with these emojis, so he can come up with these.
Absolutely. Are you trying to say he'd do better than me?
Yes.
And NT. And then when you get to StreamYard, see how many of them are unavailable. Like I wanted George. What I wanted to have was the St. George's Cross, the England flag. You're not allowed flags on StreamYard. StreamYard is racist, allegedly. Because they've got no flags.
That's our subscription cancelled.
Honestly, the geezer from what's that bloke? You know, the one who comes. You got no fans, got no flags. That geezer, Will Stoner, it's him. That's what's going on there on StreamYard. Anyway, so yeah, that one was bad. This one's better.
Aoife Mannion.
Aoife Mannion. Yeah, Man Eon. Good. So there we go. So that's two for Mia, who is very much in with a shout of a win here. Mark W's on 4. Connor's on 3 +2 whilst he was sitting backstage. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens here. We're going to kick off with this one, which I think is quite apt for this girl. Aerial stymies. She definitely does stymie people in the air.
Maya Letitia.
Maya Letitia is correct. Mia, very good. One you also could have had from Maya Letitia was Yeastia Lemurs. I did very nearly go for after Yeasty Scones last year, but I thought this one was much more Maya, so we went for that. How about this one then? The Evil and Madman.
No.
It's like 2 L's in the name. And double M, actually. It's not it's not Melvin Mallard, is it?
It is Melvin Mallard.
Oh, it is.
Absolutely. Well done, Connor. Good job.
I think Highlane may have beaten me there on that one.
You probably did, but I've been counting Highlane as well. He's on 3 at the moment as well as it stands. So good job there. How about this one? the Jolly Pluto Chileans.
Isn't this Fallon again?
It is Fallon again. Yes, Fallon Silas choice. Absolutely. The Jolly Pluto Chileans. The penultimate one here is
Fallon's good at it.
Onion Fan Amy. I know it's a great name, isn't it?
That's really good.
Oh, they're struggling.
Has Highlane got it in?
Has Highlane got it again? I don't know what's Highlane gone for. Let's have a look. It is indeed Aoife Mannion.
Highlane's good at this.
Highlane is very good at this. He's doing incredibly well. Now, this is the last one. Well, it's the penultimate one. There is one more after this. But I do have to say, I can only apologise. Just remember, this is a game. But when I saw it come up on the anagram generator, I couldn't not. So,
oh god,
like,
I'm dreading
if there's
this.
anybody watching this who knows this person, I apologise. It's just a gag. I don't think this is what you are, but what a name it is. Bogey Beggar.
Oh, superb. Gabby George.
This is Gabby George. Absolutely. Like, how could you turn that down? So there we go. Had to do that one. And the last one.
I was just looking at Highlane's.
It's really hard because it's not a player.
It's Connor.
It is indeed, Dave.
Oh, it's me. Oh, it is. Oh, that's what I thought.
Highlane
Highlane was taking the mick.
Connor Roberts, otherwise known as Elvis. Absolutely. So I'm very good. Well done. You've absolutely nailed that one. And with that same thing, just this would be me. So I found my drag name if I ever choose to go that way. I could just be Ruby Star, and it's literally an anagram of what I've got. So love that. Might choose that name going forward. So there we go. Brilliant, excellent stuff. Well done. That is Christmas Cracker 2 done and dusted, nailed. It's been amazing. Mia, brilliant to have you on. Connor, again, thank you for joining us. We've got a nip over now because the men's channel was meant to start 5 minutes ago, and they're going to start thinking that we run shows like Connor does and kick these things off late, which today we are. But, you know, I'm doing the best I can. It's been absolutely the 2 hours definitely adult actress. Okay.
What kind of show are we running here?
Absolutely so me. Listen, the last thing I've got to say to you all is you have noticed on our socials, there's 3 of us here. We've put a little thing out that's not been mentioned since. And there's 3 more people. We wanted Jess to be here tonight, but she appears to be in the Twilight Zone somewhere. We wanted Megan Garbett. She's been around. She couldn't. She had to go out and play with her family. And, of course, World Cup extraordinaire lady, Laura Howard, she was with us as well. Between the 6 of us, we tweeted that out. And all I want to say to you is just keep it tuned. 8th of January, 2024. Wonder what that could be. But as NT has said, thank you for the channel. Absolutely. Thank you all. Thank you. It's all about you guys. It would genuinely be the most pointless thing in the world if there was nobody watching us. So thank you guys for coming along and just tolerating us, I suppose, really more than anything. So well done for that. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys rock. You two especially. Thank you very much. And peace out. We will see you on our next one. There should be one more before the end of the year. We'll work out when that is. Merry Christmas, everyone.